Hi, Luminaires. How is everybody today here on YouTube? I am so excited. This is our very first live stream energy update to the public, as this used to be part of my YouTube membership. We have since substituted it for a class discussion. So if you really enjoy communicating to spirit and you want to have discussions with them about the class topic or topics that we have, which we're going to be posting, so you can check that out, then you definitely want to check out our YouTube membership program, where you can become a Lumilight member, getting the monthly meditations, as well as joining the book club. We're reading The Nature of Personality.
Personal reality.
Personal reality. I was like, not personality. That's Colleen's voice off screen. Say hi, Colleen.
Hi.
You'll be hearing from her as I trance channel. And we meet twice a month and we talk about the books that we read from a medium standpoint, from being energy sensitive. And then the Luma Evolve is the medium tier. You get all of that plus the class. And when you show up for class, you can ask questions about the topic and really get engaged with spirit, go deep down the rabbit hole. Then our highest tier is all of that plus we have the Luma Centered top tier is a Q&A where you can join and ask your personal questions and get some enlightenment that way, different perspective. But all in all, we love our YouTube members. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much, Luminaires, for being here and being curious about July's energy update. So I trance channel the energy updates, which mean I will not be here for this. So I'm going to go ahead and tone down and tune out. If you're sensitive, and if you're with me live or even watching the recording, if you're sensitive, you might be picking up on the shift in the room. So just take a nice deep breath. At any time you're feeling a little overwhelmed or it's too much of a feeling, have some water or some decaf coffee, maybe some good dark chocolate. Get back into your body, settle in. Maitland's going to come in and talk to you about the energy, give you an overview, also talk to you about what chakras are going to be challenged, needed, and supported for July. And then she's also going to talk about what crystals to use when you grid your bed this month. But I'll let her share all of that.
We have lots of people saying hello.
Don't want to take her glory. Hi, guys. Okay, here we go. If you're wanting to practice your clairvoyance skills, observe the right side of my body between my shoulder and my ear. Sometimes you can catch a light show, and yes, it even happens on camera. And for those of you who are sensitive, just take note of how your body feels when you're witnessing and holding space for something like this to happen. Even though we're not in the same room, we are still part of the same energy exchange. And I might not see you later to say goodbye, so I'll make my goodbyes now. Be well, be happy, choose happiness, and I'll catch you later. And here's Maitland. Oh, Colleen, did I miss everything? Did I get everything? Did I miss? I'm like loopy now. Knock, 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 knock. Somebody's knocking on the wall. Hi, Luminaires. Hi, Colleen.
Hi, Maitland. It's nice to see you again.
It's nice to be here.
Thank you for joining us.
Than're you for having me.
So we're in public today.
I know.
YouTube. Are you excited?
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't done live on YouTube with Jamie in a long time.
I was kind of curious if you ever had. I know that we've done Facebook several times in the past, but I couldn't remember if we had ever been live on YouTube.
We've done it on Facebook.
Yes.
It's interesting because when you are where I am, you don't need those programs. But everything has a name on Earth. Everything has a name. It's sometimes a little difficult to put in order when I'm using somebody else's body to talk through, and they have category of names and experiences, and then I'm trying to bring in mine. It's just very interesting. But I was here yesterday.
You sure were. You taught a great class.
Oh, we had a lot of fun. And that was part of the membership program. We did our class discussion, and it was about being in tune with nature and why it's important. And it was very fun. But today we're going to talk about July. Let's do it. And July's energy. When is Gemini? Are we still in the Gemini?
We're in Cancer
We're
right
in
now.
Cancer.
Yeah.
July is going to feel a bit Gemini because it's got two distinct faces. So before I talk about that, if you have been with me, and we've been doing this now for over a year, that when I was talking about the energy in May's energy was full of deceit, a lot of cover-ups and
Like
illusions, yeah, just not real. And it was just this cautionary thing of just, I want you to be awake and very centered and listening, not for just what you want, but for listening for truth. And so, when energy vibrates, it's not as crisp and clear as you might imagine, like when you drop a rock in the water and you watch the ripples. And you can track that one ripple. There it goes, there it goes, there it goes, all the way to the edge. Or it goes away and you can't see it very big anymore, so you become disinterested in it. The waves and frequencies, when the earth is collaborating in them, is like this. You drop the pebble in and you watch the big wave, and it gets smaller and smaller, and then past your interest and past your eyes, and it hits the edge of the lake, and then it comes back in. And you're not noticing all those subtle little movements. But when the return ripple hits the outgoing ripple, it creates another effect as well. And so frequency just doesn't happen and then go away. It kind of vibrates, and then it gets a little squirrely, and then it's doing another thing because it's resonating in and off itself, and then off of a new experience that's occurring. So it's not these peaks, ebbs and flows. It's like, whoa, what another thing? More 5D or 5-dimensional than 3D dimensional. I'm mentioning this because that energy we were experiencing in May, all that illusion, it's kind of like July is showing up and going, okay, well, we're going to be the month of truth. And so we're going to provide a lot of space for you to go, hey, I'm sorry about May. I'm sorry about what happened in May, but and then the truth follows. Another thing that's interesting about July is that if we look at it in terms of astrology or numerology at the same time, it's kind of focusing on like Cancer is soft and emotionful.
Mm-hmm.
That's the word.
Filled with emotion.
Filled with emotion.
Or emotional.
Emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And it's soft, and it's going to also hold space for that truth. But when we look at numerology, it's almost like that truth is going to wrap in with the past, and you're going to get things from the past coming forward, but you'll be in a new place to receive it. A lot of times when we share, oh, the past is going to come back around for you, people like from elementary school or from a long distant relative or a friend that you haven't seen in a while, come back around. Usually we see a lot of nerves in you, and you go, oh, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want that. But you want this one because this one's nice. So in July, you're going to be moving from your emotional center, from your heart space. And your heart space is going to be the one going, okay, I've got this. And we're not going just to respond from how we're thinking. So when old wounds, traumas, friendships, disconnects, and things of that nature kind of surface back in through July, you'll be moving from your heart. It's kind of simple that way. So when I see July overall, the first week is like, maybe not. And today is like, whoo, in energy. If you have been feeling off for the last 2, 3 days, even like off, like you're totally numb, oh, and you can't look at anything, and you're like, huh? You wanted, oh yeah, I was going to do that for you, and I forgot.
I've been feeling overly emotional the past couple of days, and I'm like, what is up with this?
I know what it is.
What is it?
So the astrologically, the divine cosmic energy that's happening with the planets, it's creating a lot of in your face force. It's called I forget what it's called. Astrologically, there's a lot of terms for it. But the planets, they line up like a letter T, a trine, something like that. That's not important. The important is how it affects the energy vibrations, especially coming up at the end of last month. But today it's an alignment, and it's going to kind of resonate maybe like 4 or 5 days after. And it can really make people a little agitated and forceful, a little more righteous than what they really need to be, a little more, you're not going to touch me. I'm going to call the police because you're going to touch me. Exaggerated and over the top. And I know that especially in the United States, there's celebrations like Independence Day coming up. But summer and good weather is happening in a lot of places, and people are starting to gather because you're coming out of the quarantine feeling and getting into large groups like that with these 3 planets aligning and coming together. I think it's Mars, Uranus, and
Is it Jupiter?
I can't remember.
I don't remember. We're having some people say, well, Sarah Reed has said transits, and then we had 2 other people say T square.
It's a T square.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You knew it was a letter T. It's T square. And so you got 3 planets who are just like aggressively pushing energy, like whoop, whoop.
Shannon is saying Saturn.
It's Saturn.
Thank you, Shannon, for your astrological knowledge.
So each of those planets have these attributes and these frequencies that they're really good at, and now they're pushing in, and those 3 are coming together and really focused on where the Earth is located. And so it's like, and the way that the majority of the people will respond is this overreaction, kind of irritated. And so if you're really sensitive energetically, then you just take the first week off. And I don't mean sit on your couch and disappear, but take your first week off of, don't hang out with the big crowds. And if you are feeling all that energy shifting on you, step back and breathe. Find a quiet space, really enjoy a good book, get into nature and just open up and expand, because you'll be so ready for like July 6th, 7th through the 11th. This is when it starts to get sweet and we really dive into how we feel. And then our heart just feels like somebody has done some surgery on it, and your rib cage is no longer like this, holding that beautiful little heart of yours. Your rib cage is like this, and you have a really big heart, and you're just like, I can't feel this much. It's so incredible. And you just feel ginormous, and your heart is really big. Then we have the past coming in, those, I don't know what I was doing in May, I apologize. The illusions are coming back at you, and they're unfolding to show the truth. And you're just sitting there going, yep, yep, I can receive all this because I have the space. And you do. When you have the space, guess what you start doing with it? Loving more. It's true. You'll start to fall in love with like this life, this existence, and in a way that you haven't really done so before. Like maybe when you're laying on the grass and you're looking up and you're like, that's a blue sky. Wow, that's so beautiful. And you know how you get starry eyed and you get like, ooh, that feeling? But not a, I am feeling this way and being ignorant towards the pain, discomfort, and disharmony of the rest of the world. It's not that you're starry eyed and ignoring the entire picture. That's not it. That's why July is so different because truth is boiling out. Another thing about July, if you've been with me, we talked about August in 2021 was a big wake up. It was just like angels and spirits coming down and just taking people and going, you're going to wake up now. And they wake up to their psychic ability. Well, it always comes in waves. And so that wave came in and it rattled this mass consciousness. And we all started thinking more in alignment. There was more alignment than centuries. And then we're coming back around to where it's dipping down and the second wave is coming. And so July is our second wave. So angels and guides and gurus and spirits and are all coming in and looking at those that are standing on the edge of going, I know there's more, but I don't know how to see it, engage it, or feel it. And they're going, you got to wake up now. And then this wave that's waking up in July, they're heart centered. They're the empathics. They're the clairsensitives. You know, they're coming in now, all ages, 90 something, 100 and something, to just being born. They're all coming and waking up to, okay, I'm going to speak from here and I'm going to move from my heart space. And I'm going to really express my emotions and express the emotions of what I'm sensing in others. And because of this shift that we're going through right now, you're going to notice, and I've been wanting this forever, you're going to start to notice that the educational systems globally are going to start changing. We've been talking about it a lot, how the sit still, be still version of education, the lecture and listen, is not working anymore. That school hours were developed for the manufacturers and school months and days were against the farmer's almanac. And we've all said why, but we've never thought to change it. We tried, but masses, you know, they like a good routine and they hung on to it. But this month, this is where it's really born. The change is born. And it was so, we have to dedicate a lot of the change of what we're experiencing now globally when we're talking about being energy sensitive and finding true purpose and passion in life to the quarantine. And if you have an altar out there, I would say it's time to put that good old quarantine name in a positive place instead of being tired and frustrated with it. The love that you're going to be feeling in July will help you with making peace with it. So if you're starting new relationships and you find yourself out there in a new way, whether it is first time dating, whether it is being divorced for the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh time, that happens. If you've decided that you're in a marriage and both of you are in good agreement and you want to add a third party to your marriage, wherever you find yourself in accepting a new relationship, July is a great time to just take your big heart out of your chest and let it shine. I say this because a lot of times people are hesitant to take their heart out and shine this way because they don't want it to get hurt. But with July bringing forth a lot of truth seekers, and when I say truth, I don't mean opinions. Like, this is my opinion and it's my truth. No, opinions and truth are different. When I'm talking about truth, I mean, let's put it this way, more than 10 people can get together and all agree that the statement that's being said is in alignment with them. That kind of truth. And so when we find this like-mindedness and this truth, and we're healing whatever is coming up in the past, and we're being emotionally centered, and we're past that T-square thing that is a little aggressive. I mean aggressive. You'll see a lot of like what's it called when crime. You'll see a lot of crime or like shootings, car accidents, yelling, anger, bitiness.
That was yesterday.
Today is the first.
Oh, yesterday that was happening around us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so a few days before, so it's like a whole week,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the peak today. And if you're energy sensitive to it, it's just kind of like so much is going on, so I get numb because I don't need to engage in it because I don't use that energy, but I just roam. And so when you find yourself that way for this week, just take a bath and stay out of the way of heavy action and just enjoy that book. But then the sweetness starts to happen. So that's why I was like, July is a little bit like the Gemini. I got this side and I got that side. But the heart-centered side is much larger. It's the last 3 weeks. And it really comes in around the 11th and the 12th. And you just go, I don't know why, but I really love my life. And so I would say July is a very good time. Here's your call to action to do in July is to sit down and write a list of everything that you're really wanting to manifest and really what you're attracted to emotionally. Like, I want to draw this to me, this or better, this or better. And when you get it down on paper, manifesting in this heart-centered place is a lot easier. When we look at the chakras and how your physical body is using this frequency coming in from all the planets and coming in from mass consciousness and coming off of what May was doing and how it's rippling, your root chakra is going to be challenged the most. It's going to be going, okay, you say you're so in love and you say, you're starry-eyed and you might not be in your body when you feel this way. So you might be tripping over yourself, stubbing your toe, twisting your ankle, hurting your knee or your hip. It's just like, like, I don't know how to have this big rib cage and this big heart. So my little legs are just running in weird directions and hurting themselves. So you'll have to be a little bit more conscious about getting grounded and saying, I'm human. And I have a whole body from the top of my head to the tip of my toes. And I would say a crystal that would really help with that is garnet. I like garnet because it quietly stokes the fire in your kundalini at the base of your spine and makes it a little bit bigger. And it's not a really aggressive one. It's a nice sweet one. So it's also one that you can use around your bed and not feel really overwhelmed or too grounded that you can't have these lovely dream states and this starry-eyed love. So it's a good match. The chakra in your physical body that's going to be supported the most for July is going to be the heart. And it's interesting because the heart is the opposite of the root chakra. It's complementary. And this is happening, all the emotions cracking open, having the bigger heart, more compassion. When you show more love for self, you have more room to share love with others. And then when you start to share love with others, you're more compassionate. And then you get this ease of life and it starts flowing nice and soft and and smooth. For those of you who consider yourselves star seeds, which many luminaires are, then I would say it's time to seek out a little piece of moldavite and keep that with you. But if you don't align with moldavite, which is a very special kind of, it's actually glass from space. But if you don't really align with that, then I would go something like a jade or a green adventurine.
Mhm.
Adventure? No, there's no R, is there?
Yeah, adventuring.
Adventuring,
Mhm.
which is a little softer. It's not as harsh, and it will kind of keep that heart nice and open and with a little bit more exploring. And both of those stones really are good with helping with ancestral listening and healing and holding, which is what July can bring forward for you. So that's nice too, that goes together. And then the one, so we have our challenged, supported, and the one that's going to be needed. Like, I need you to work. I need you to wake up, punch in the clock, and stay very alert. It's third eye. This third eye has been so active recently, but we need it to stay alert and awake because so often you have been taught on earth you're either a thinker or you are a feeler, and that's it. There's so many more options. What are you doing? But you say, oh no, I'm a heady person. Oh no, I'm a heart person. I think, I feel, I'm the head, I'm the body, I'm this, I'm better. So, when we're having the heart so active and open, we need our third eye to be alert so that you can then align your heart space with your intuitive space and merge those more together. They are, in essence, one of the same thing, but because of a lot of training and indoctrination, you've been taught that they are separate things. So this month, if you want to have another call to action, like writing down what you want to manifest from your heart space, I would say I would take at least 5 minutes. I'm going very small on this one. So it's doable, so you can do this. But I would say 5 minutes a day, set a timer on your phone, and I would practice these two things: mindfulness, where you are listing everything that comes into your head, not the whys. We don't want to go down the rabbit hole. The why always leads to the rabbit hole, but just acknowledge what's being said and kind of move it on, let it move through you, while you have your eyes focused on your third eye. So you roll them up and you look here in between, in the back of your forehead. That focus of energy, when you take your eyes and you roll them up, it stretches the optic nerve and it actually applies a little bit of pressure onto the pituitary and the pineal gland, and then it kind of wakes them up a little bit more, being aware of touch and space, and it can send you out your third eye like an outer body experience or astral, but it engages that intuitive sensitivity that you have, which is simply, I like to think of intuition as the increased use of your traditional five senses that you have in your human body. So when we engage in the psychic, intuitive, and higher frequency vibration parts of our body, there's lots of words right there. I like to use a lot of words because we call things, we call one thing different labels and different names. So I just like list a lot and you can take what fits you and you go, yep, thank you. But we can use that, make it active while the heart is open, and align the two of them a little bit better. I like using lapis lazuli a lot, but if you find that your head is super busy, this and that, and it narrates everything, then I would use labradorite. So when you're looking at gridding your bed for July to help with all the frequencies coming in from the beyond, the past, to create, the now, I would grid your bed with garnet, And a grid is when you take 4 pieces of the same kind of crystalline stone and you put one on each corner of your bed. So you have garnet, boop, 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 boop. That's going to help your challenge chakra and help you stay grounded in a sweet way and keep your kundalini energy up. It'll also help with your adrenals. And then I would take green adventurine or jade and put them on 4 corners. Boop, 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 boop. If you're really daring and you really like the energy, you can get 4 pieces of moldavite, but that's a lot of energy to spend in it. But if it's good for you, you go for it. That's going to support the heart energy and the staying big and staying open and dropping our intuition down in there. Especially if you're waking up now in July and realizing your new set of sensitivity skills, this one's going to be a good grid. Then I would take the lapis lazuli, boop, 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 4 in the corner, and then that's going to help the intuitive, and this grid will really help you sleep well too. It'll keep everything vibrant, but it'll allow your conscious mind just to go shh, 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 and just rest a little bit more. But if you find that your conscious mind is real busy, just add in the labradorite. Don't take out the lapis, just add in the labradorite. Boop, 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 boop. And then I always like to do a crystal grid around my bed with black tourmaline. So that's another stone that you would put around. Now, if you're somebody who's like, I'm just so depleted in energy, or I have a really hard time sensing or feeling, and I like to have the energy big, I need it big, I need it big, so that when I sleep in it, it's like in every part of me, then you add also clear quartz, because clear quartz is the amplifier. Boop, 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 boop. So you're going to have like a fistful of crystals on every little corner of your bed. I will say, if you have kitty cats or dogs or a tiny horse that lives inside, you might want to put them in a bag and then put them like underneath the fitted sheet so they can't get into it. Especially if you have a toddler or a very curious child that likes to hide under the bed. We don't want them to think that it's candy and eating it. That has happened. Do you feel like, okay, I get it now, or no?
We're asking, actually, Shannon's asking, is it possible to show pictures next time for people who are new to crystal gridding? Maybe it'd be nice to have the crystals present with you when we go on so you can show them.
I can do that. I can tell Jamie.
So we can take that into consideration for next time. Absolutely.
We could, can you write up the list?
Yeah, I'm going to write the list right now so they can look them up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember them?
I do. I have lapis. I have garnet.
Well, lapis, and then if you have a busy head, add labradorite.
Okay. Okay.
And then for the heart, it's the green adventuring.
Okay.
Or jade. They're different, but both sweet.
Okay.
And then if you are a starseed and you really need that energy, moldavite.
Okay. And you didn't say garnet? I thought you did.
Yeah, and then we drop down to the garnet.
Got it. Okay.
And then I like putting black tourmaline. And then if you're that person who's like, I just need it big, just give it to me big, then clear quartz would be something you would pair with it. This is a big heart-opening month. Relationships, people, relationships. How do you feel? It is time to acknowledge how you feel. And again, if you're like, then try the call to actions that I suggested. Writing down what you want to manifest, and even the 5 minutes of mindfulness looking at your forehead. 5 minutes, that's it. That's like, I don't know what to compare it to. I was going to say a shower, but I think, I don't know. I always took baths. You Luminaires are so much fun. Thank you so much for being here and listening. And I do hope that you really enjoy this month. It's not careless. It's not like enjoy it to the point where you're just carefree and nothing can touch you. It will feel like you're a little invincible because your heart energy is really, really big. I mean, think of all that photonic light that just came in June. You've been processing that, and it just charged you up, and you have this extra energy. And what's occurring now with all this pressure from the planets, we're taking that extra energy and we're putting it in the center of our energetic system, our heart. And that's aligning to what July is doing, Cancer, numerology, astrology, all of it's coming together. These are our frequencies that are happening all here. At any time, if you feel like your chest is just way too big, like, oh, and your heart is way too big and you can't do it, I like to do the thymus thump. You can either do it with a fist, but you do it by pushing all of your fingers together. It's not fun if you have long nails. And then you hit your sternum. You hear it? And then that loosens up the energy, and it can move it off your chest, and you won't feel so overwhelmed and big. It also wakes up your thymus, which helps you with your immune system too. So it's a good little thing. No. How's he do it? Tarzan.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's going to be on camera.
You did it much better than I could have. That's okay.
This is recorded forever. But this is what you get if you're doing our energy updates. It's just a little bit fun because it's me. That's all I have to say.
That was wonderful, Maitland. Thank you so much. You have so many thank yous coming in.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
It sounds like we have a nice month ahead of us as long as we stay hunkered down for the first week or so.
Yes, the first week. And if you like these energy updates, come back and see me in August. I'll do them every month for you.
Yes.
Yep.
We put them all on the calendar today.
We did.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Luminaires.
Bye, Maitland.
Bye. I did it. I did it. I did it on the YouTube.